Hey guys, so Jim Graves here, doing a video for y'all. Um, I guess this one would be a more sensitive subject, um, kind of deal. So I'm sure a lot of people in the community have felt the tension over certain things, or have been told certain things. Regardless, we're not here to talk about that stuff. Anyway, so my friends and I got into a super big fight and everything. Which I feel like before it's mostly just between the two of them. Really, that's where it seemed like a lot of it happened, and it just kept keeping on happening, and you know it's not enjoyable to be in that. And so there's a lot that we got going on, talking about and whatnot. So, starting out, I know friends fight. I know all this stuff happens. And I know relationships and stuff, obviously. If you guys know about this class thing, then I was going to have to take off in like 2 months anyway for it. But I have great friends. I'm not going to lie to you about that. A lot of the people that I have on YouTube are great friends. You know, no matter when they do get a little crazy or go off the rocker, I guess. So anyway, though, so on that, like I said, I have two great friends, and they argued, and sometimes I got pulled into it. Sometimes I got put on the back burner. You guys know Gin Graves isn't very controversial. There is a big reason why I don't really like arguing. Nor do I think an argument should be brought up without a conclusion, and that's kind of what certain arguments are pointless because one person thinks their opinion's right and the other person thinks their opinion's right. And when you get three people, they're all of three separate opinions on different stuff, on how something should be ran or anything else, then it happens, So I'll give you some life stories, stuff like that, so basically what I tell you at the end. So the first one, as you guys know, I had a friend that I was going to do a board game company with. We were going to do board games, writing, all the other different stuff like that. And my friend could not wait and would keep jumping the gun. And, instead of getting like a good artist or finding a friend that was an artist to try and up their rep or anything like that, my friend would take clip art and some other stuff and try and put together this game and be like, oh, this will get us money, the concept of it's good. And I was like, even if the game is shit, a lot of people will still buy it. Or if it's got miniatures or anything else like that. That's just something, if you know about it. Certain things like that are that way. So, especially on Kickstarter, and I'd been doing Kickstarter for 3 years or so at the time. So, not being on it, but supporting people doing stuff like that. So I knew all about it and everything. So, we argued about a lot of stuff when it came down to it, because it was our company and it was us representing stuff, and it didn't go as planned. Like I said, my friend got out of it a couple times, creating his old company at once, syncing back up with putting both of the companies together, stuff like that. So it's just a little crazy. But during that time, your boy Jen Graves wasn't so much like Jen Graves. He was more of a dark Jen Graves, which is not why my email is because of that. But I found myself getting more like violent about certain things. I mean, it was my friend, really good friend. We'd play D&D, and he would say something and we'd start yelling or whatever, and I would throw my hand through a wall. Certain stuff like that. And that was kind of the monster, I guess, or part of a monster in Jen Graves that I didn't like in myself, and so I changed it. I started quelling that and making sure that even if I did get pissed off, it wasn't something that I couldn't control myself, I guess. And this is a lot of different stuff because, in high school I'd get in fights and I would basically like black out and, get in trouble for it later and not know what I did. And then I'd see the other kid, I'd be like, oh, and then I'd have cuts or bruises or whatever, different stuff like that. So there you go. Moving on to it. And this is for everybody that's out there. I know there are some of my other friends that are out there that have parents that, were a different way than mine. I feel like I had the particular parents that wanted to do the whole thing of, oh, I'm the better parent because I bought you this or I bought you that. So if you know me, I'm always in the fence. I'm always on the middle. And a lot of different stuff obviously has become confusing that way because I'll play both sides. But my parents would argue. And they would do that. And that was something that I didn't ever feel like it was necessary. That's why I don't really raise my voice or anything else when I'm talking to people, because I feel like that's kind of a weapon you can hold on to, because people sometimes when you do that, if you're a quiet person, then they take you seriously. So, stuff like that. And as big as I am and tall and everything else, I don't ever feel like I even have to use my voice because of that. A lot of people just kind of don't try and get into it. But yeah, I mean, if you had parents like that or anything, and you had them where they wanted to pull you into it, I'm sorry about that. That's not really something you can control. Or if you had parents that were both just assholes or anything else like that, different people have parents that are like that, or parents that are way too involved in your life, that probably need to step back and let you live your life, different stuff like that. So, moving forward, more present day related stuff. Sometimes when me and my spouse is one of those people that will actually hold on to it until they just explode and erupt. And it's not very fun. I don't enjoy that. And but I always find myself kind of getting drawn into it somewhat too with them. And then kind of the pumping the pedal and saying, wait, why are we doing this? We're supposed to love each other. So stuff like that, and I find myself usually being the one that says, well, why don't we say something good about each other instead of tearing each other down? Stuff like that. Everybody has some problems, some relationship problems, or stuff like that as well. So that's three different types of arguing with different people. I've argued with my brother Trey, and you know, stuff like that. And he is one of the people that I would say opened my eyes to some things, especially in a moment of when things happen. I've argued with all my siblings over something stupid or whatever, even though they won't tell you and they're not going to believe it if they watch one of these videos or whatnot, of me being right, because it's true, especially whenever the person that it's relating to agrees with you. So anyway, can't get into that obviously with your siblings, because then somebody's going to find out who their parents' favorite is. So but anyway, so today, guys, like I said, my two really good friends got in kind of a big argument, and one after the other, I felt like it was either taking a shot at each other or trying to pull me into it or something like that, over something that I feel like a genuine I'm sorry probably could have fixed way back when, between them. And it just never fixed itself, never got better. So I've been kind of sitting there seeing all of it, reliving it and whatnot, and other things have happened since then. One of my other friends that's I made on here is in a relationship, and seeing it and doing all that and knowing how his relationship is, which I'm sure if they kind of split up and went their kind of separate ways for a little bit or took a big break, it would fix itself. On this one, I don't feel like that is it to fix a friendship. We're probably not going to do very much stuff together, again, as the three amigos. But individually, 2-on-2, stuff like that, or maybe as a big group, maybe we can do stuff in the future. But this other friend, all the time, he'll tell you that this person or their lover basically said to them, something mean, hurtful, telling them that they're not always, the best, that there was somebody better than them, from a previous relationship, or they don't bring anything to the relationship, or a lot of other stuff. And, break up all the time and all this. And, that just kind of breaks my heart. But that's how I feel like this scenario is going to kind of keep going. We're all friends. We want to stay that way and whatnot, but I don't feel like this is a good spot for all of us to be there. And I'm sure at some point, more things will happen regardless, and I don't want to be there for it. So that is kind of the whole idea behind this. I've been thinking on it all day, and same thing happened with that. To me, I felt like every conclusion for me ended in, I just want to rip their face off. I want to cuss them out. I want to do all this, and we're friends, so obviously that should be like a stop sign right there. And finally, when I calmed down and thought about it and everything, I thought of, the best thing would probably be to save our friendship is to take out what's ailing it, what's doing it, and it's kind of the whole too many roosters in the hen house or whatever. As you guys know, I call everybody my harem, because a harem is fun, happy-go-lucky, things like that. And I feel like that's what, all this other stuff should be. MangaTube, YouTube in general, having friends all over the globe, no matter what they're doing or the content they do or what they move to. You know, um, one of my other friends brought up a great suggestion, and it made me think about it. As far as doing recordings and actually not having to focus as much of your life on trying to meet a quota of making sure you have the time and all that of doing a podcast all the time, especially on some of those times when you might not have the time. So he's really great too. Honestly, I kind of miss him, so I hope he comes back because that's kind of the only one that I have left. But in doing this on top of all that other stuff and saving my friendship with these two great guys and not trying to fall into a circle or a loop of continuing the same thing over and over and over again. I've decided to be more free flowy, like I was before. Like I said before, I will collab with anybody. You bring me an idea or whatever, and you make sure that it works with both of our schedules, I will definitely make the time for it. As long as it doesn't take away from certain things, family, other things like that. And that's one of the things that kind of came to the conclusion on is we were just feeding into our own toxicity, and I don't enjoy that. I don't want to be a part of that. And so saving our friendship, and if they want to try and do this too or whatever, or figure out what's going to go on, because honestly I don't know, and I don't want to be in there when it starts imploding or anything like that. There are certain things that are in that are a lot better here and there on how good they are, that certain people are doing. There are a lot of better opportunities and things for them, and so freeing up that time, especially already freeing up that time for when school comes, I think it's gonna help me do better as well. To do more things that I like, more things I enjoy. Be able to make more content for you guys because I'll have one more extra day free. And kind of in the spirit of my friend, that doesn't get to spend a lot of time with his family. It kind of made me think about that as well, and being able to kind of be with my child more during that time. So hopefully he can find some more time to be with his family too. Because obviously your kids are kind of important. So anyway, though, I hope that you guys will support this decision. And I know that if anything does go on, anything does happen, because it has happened already, one of them or both of them are going to basically be poo monkeys and start throwing shit around about each other, which, again, we're friends. Fairy tale, I can't not say that enough. Friendship, because if it's not friendship, then it just obviously doesn't matter. And you guys can have your fun, whatever. I don't want to be part of it, but so it is kind of with a heavy heart and being very upset about it, and whatnot. I know you can't tell it on my face because I didn't express emotions like sadness in that way. But it's eating me up pretty good. And being able to show that our friendship is more important than some stupid podcast or whatever, or somebody shit talking one of my friends. In this instance, my friends shit talking each other and not jumping into it and being a part of it, or adding to it in any way. I'm going to have to kindly back out of being a part of the Dadcast. So I hope we can collab more on other things in the future when it's not something that we have to actually focus on doing it all the time and making it basically into a job, and getting to the level that it was now with basically trying to pull a Michael Vick with fighting dogs and go at each other and rip each other to pieces. So anyway, I hope, like I said, you guys will support this decision. I hope that you will continue to support them, like I said, whether both of them decide to stay and continue doing the Dadcast, or something else comes out of it and they decide to end it themselves. Whatever the idea of it is. So, anyway, thanks for being a great audience while I was a part of the Dadcast, and thanks for being very supportive. It was something crazy joining another podcast while I had my other one going on with Loha Lee, and joining a third one with Bizarre Individual and Mike, on top of this one with Mike and Flip, and getting to meet some really great people, and being a part of people's channels and getting to influence them, here and there through the Dadcast and the other two podcasts, and just influencing them in general. So anyway, you guys will obviously see me around. It's not like I'm quitting MangaTube, YouTube, GunplaTube, AniTube, whatever else you consider me for doing, being a YouTuber. But that is about it. So I hope you guys will, stop by, say hello, and do all that stuff, and go support those two guys. Everybody, as well. So anyway, I'll just have to catch you guys later. So thanks for watching. I know this is kind of a long upsetting video, but I feel like this is going to make a much stronger, better friendship than what I had before with both these guys, and coming out as like phoenixes from the flames and stuff. So anyway, I hope you guys do great on what your endeavors are. Not like My Hero Academia, but and I'll catch you guys later. So see you, Space Cowboy.